Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Now, as you guys know, Michael Jordan is widely considered the greatest player of all time. He has a perfect record in the NBA Finals, and with that, I think it makes his legend even more profound. Like, so many people, are in awe of Jordan's legacy because he's undefeated in championship games. But what happened? During the middle of Michael Jordan's prime, he stepped away from the game of basketball for 2 years. Some say for a forced sabbatical. There's so many stories around that, right? But essentially, he didn't play for 2 years, right? And during that stretch, the Houston Rockets, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, you had Vernon Maxwell and all of these guys, Robert Horry, Kenny Smith, they went on to win back-to-back championships, being spearheaded by Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, I didn't watch Hakeem's full career because I was too young to see all of this stuff, although I've seen tape of him. I know that Hakeem Olajuwon has the best footwork. Him and Kevin McHale have been accused of having the best footwork of any NBA player in NBA history. But if you look at his resume, he's a two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP, regular season MVP, 12-time All-Star. He's been on 6 All-First NBA teams, 3 seconds, so that's 9, 3 thirds, so that's 12. He's been a Defensive Player of the Year 2 times. He won a Defensive Player of the Year 2 times. He made 5 All-First defensive teams, 4 seconds, so 9 All-Defensive teams. He was on the NBA All-Rookie team. He led the league, listen to this, in rebounds 2 times. He led the league in blocks 3 times throughout his NBA career. If you look at his career numbers, he's a 21.8 per game scorer. He averaged, think about this, 3.1 blocks per game. And in one season, Hakeem Olajuwon averaged 4.6 blocks per game, and he averaged over 4 blocks per game in a season 2 times, and 3 times, and the other lowest number after that was 3.9. Oh my God, oh my goodness. Then he also averaged 1.7 steals per game. This is outlandish. What the hell? 1.7 steals per game as a center? Do you know how incredible of a defensive player you have to be to average 3.1 rebounds, 3.1 blocks per game throughout your career, and also average 1.7 steals per game as a center? Do you know the level of activity you have to have in the help defender and to be able to recover? This is incredible. This is incredible, actually. He averaged 2.5 assists per game, but then on top of that, he averaged 11 rebounds for his career. His career high is actually 14 rebounds in a game on 71% free throw shooting for his career. He didn't take threes, I'm not going to mention that, on 51% shooting from the floor. Now, here's something interesting about Hakeem. Hakeem Olajuwon, some people argue that he's the greatest center of all time. Some people even argue that he is the most skilled big man to ever play in the association. I mean, he gets that level of credit. And when you have players like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire, Dwight Howard seeking him out to learn his footwork, that goes to show you the caliber of player he is. So today I was going through the internet and I came across a clip of Robert Horry, who's Mr. Big Shot Bob, Rob, or whatever you want to call him. He had some incredible shots throughout his career, some even with the Lakers. And he was a teammate of Hakeem. And during this interview, he was actually speaking, I think, at the Hall of Fame. And they were asking him to talk about Hakeem Olajuwon. And then he said something quite interesting about Michael Jordan, which was, according to Robert Horry, the one player that MJ feared in his entire NBA career was actually Hakeem Olajuwon. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Robert Horry had to say here. And then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that.
Can you explain to folks who might not, again, be some of the young folks, what made Dream so special?
So, first of all, do everybody know who Hakeem Olajuwon is? Hakeem Olajuwon you should know how good he is when LeBron, Kobe, all these guys go to him for advice and on how to do his footwork. You know, this guy's footwork was some of the most amazing footwork you will ever see. But his tenacity in the gym, I mean, like, you think he was mad during the game. He was even madder during practice if the guys wasn't practicing hard, or he felt like we weren't putting forth the maximum effort. And that's what you want out of guys. You just want to come to practice and play hard, because if you go really, really hard in practice, sometimes it's easier in the game because in practice, you don't have timeouts. In the game, you have timeouts, you have TV timeouts, but it goes to show you how great this guy was. Hakeem Olajuwon is Muslim. And so during Ramadan, he's not allowed to drink or eat anything. So we had a noon game. And so you can't eat or drink anything until sundown. This guy still puts up 40 points, doesn't drink any water, doesn't have a meal before the game to get himself right. That lets you know how amazing this is. And if you ask Michael Jordan what one guy he ever feared, it was Hakeem Olajuwon. He used to call us, I'm scared of the big African because he's from Nigeria. That's what he used to say because, and the people out who are Chicago Bulls fans, I know this question comes up a lot. They always wonder those 2 championships we won in Houston, we would have won them with Michael Jordan would have been playing. The answer to that question is yes, because they couldn't stop Olajuwon. We might not be able to stop Jordan, but they couldn't stop Olajuwon. We did have a guy that could kind of slow Jordan down in Vernon Maxwell. So before that question ever pops up, yes, we'd have won 2 championships if Jordan would have played.
So you heard what Robert Horry had to say. Now, as I said before, Hakeem Olajuwon was the real deal. How do you know this? Because even Michael Jordan himself said it. There's actually a video that we unearthed where Jordan was talking about NBA 2K. And during this clip, he was asked to list if he had a pickup game, what players would he choose? And amongst the list of players he selected, Hakeem Olajuwon was one of them. And then he even went on to explain why he chose Hakeem. Before we get into that, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what MJ had to say, and then we want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that there.
In a pickup game, who would I pick up? What 5 guys would I pick up to make sure I hold on to the basketball? Scottie Pippen for sure, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Hakeem Olajuwon. I got no chance of losing, none at all. Olajuwon, he was in the top 10 in 5 categories: steals, rebounds, block shots, scoring, and shooting percentage. You know what I mean? To have a big guy of his size to be in the top 10 in steals. Now you can assume that he would be in blocks, which to me shows versatility of what type of guy he really was.
So you heard what he had to say. And oh, by the way, for the person that hates Scottie Pippen so much, who was the first person he mentioned on that list? Was it not Scottie Pippen? The guy he did dirty? There you go. So you heard what Jordan had to say. I was listening to, a video, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, from Too Raw for Sports, and he was discussing, I think he thinks that Wilt Chamberlain's the GOAT in his list, but he was talking about how damn good. No, he was talking about Shaq and Hakeem, and I think he said that Hakeem Olajuwon, yes, he said Hakeem Olajuwon is a better center than Shaq. But the point is, a lot of people respect Hakeem. A lot of people respect Hakeem. And, you know, he ended up being one of the arguably the 10 greatest players of all time. And it must really mean, you know, that they got some really good huts in Nigeria to produce these type of players. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And for those of you who didn't know, I'm alluding to an idiot on the internet that says, you know, I live in a hut in Nigeria. So that's what I meant. For Nigerians watching the video, I'm not dissing myself. That's what suckers do. Catch you guys on the next show. Peace.